Hey y'all, NK here and welcome back to the Cookery. Today I'm actually going to be making cornbread. I know I've made this in the past for a little Thanksgiving kind of a late quick rush type of thing, but today I'm actually going to be focusing on the presentation, and I think I'm actually going to be making some cornbread bars today. It's actually going to turn out, I think, really good. I can already imagine it. Sounds really good. I think it's gonna go really well. From same thing, the Krusty's honey cornbread. I'm actually, before I showed it in the pan, now I'm gonna kind of show it in somewhat of a muffin type, not really muffin, more like a bar, and we're gonna see how this goes. Today is all about kind of the presentation and the outcome. Alright, so I'm not even going to try and go into too much detail. Really, it's just a simple follow the box recipe. We have a lot of these follow the box recipes, especially for brownies and cakes and stuff like that. Really come in handy, trust me. So yeah, today we're going to be making some Krusty's honey cornbread and muffin mix, and we're going to be making it in the form of bars. So we're actually going to be following the kind of muffin recipe, a little bit different from their square pan recipe with the proportion of milk. So I have my mix already in here. I have my 1 egg, I have my 1/3 cup of vegetable, and here's the difference between the square pan recipe and the muffin recipe. For the muffin recipe, you're only supposed to use a 1/2 cup of milk here, and for the square pan recipe, you're only supposed to use 2/3 cups of milk. So obviously for this one, since we're making bars, which is somewhat different from muffins, but I guess kind of that same equal proportion, you have to split it, you know. So we're going to follow the muffins recipe today. So I'm going to add all of these ingredients, and then I'm just going to mix them all together till they're nice and consistent, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to make our bars. Alright y'all, so this actually goes by super fast. That literally only took me 2 minutes max to actually make the actual mixture here. And this is how we are going to be making our cornbread bars. I got this tray from Michael's actually for about $15. Pretty expensive for a tray, but that's Michael's for you. And yeah, so we're actually going to be making some bars this way. I do actually love how, I haven't actually ever seen, I don't think, cornbread bars ever in my lifetime, but yeah, so we're actually going to be making that today. I can already envision it. Not that hard to envision, but I think it's actually going to turn out really well. I've already oiled down and sprayed my pan with the Pam spray, so it actually goes really quickly, I think. And I'm just going to pour it in. I have 8 kind of bars here to make, so this is going to go by, I think, pretty fast as my oven makes its way to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a spoon if I need it, but I think I'm pretty good at, not to brag, I think I'm pretty good at pouring, a good amount into each without spilling. I might have just jinxed myself, I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So I'm just gonna lightly pour to 1 right now. Yeah, okay, I can pour it a little more. Okay, so I think I'm gonna fill it about, that maybe looks like 2/3 of the way. So I think I'm just gonna do that one much for right now. And if I still have extra, I'll go back into each one. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that for each one, and looks pretty good so far. And it should be going by really, really quickly by the time the oven dings that it's ready. Alright y'all, so my oven is ready to go. I actually only made about 6 of these, but I do say they do look really good so far. And I did jinx myself just a little bit with this little mess over here, but I can just clean it off and no one ever has to know. So don't worry, we're going to take these out anyway, and it's all about the presentation. And I think these are going to look really good. So I'm going to hop these in at the oven for about 20-25 minutes until they're a little bit golden brown and kind of have maybe hopefully a little crust to it. I do love when it has, especially if you make muffins, there's kind of a crust to it. I'll have to make it one time and show you guys in a separate video. But for now, let's focus on our cornbread bars and let's hop these into the oven. Alright y'all, I am actually so happy with how these turned out. They definitely look actually instead of bars, they look like little loaves, which are honestly kind of cuter, like little bread loaves and stuff like that. I already put one to the side for me to try over here. And honestly, props to the Wilton kind of company, their pan, the one that I made or used to make these cornbread bars, actually turned out really well. Definitely you can kind of see more of a design to it. There is kind of a little bit more kind of a layer here. Has a nice kind of crisp like this. You guys can kind of hear that. Yeah, that's the crisp part over here. Definitely pretty darn solid. So I think this actually props to them and their that pan for actually working And yeah, I've never made like these kind of bar shaped kind of pastry or like cake before, so actually turned out really well. I think I made 6 and I think it honestly looks like enough, if not like actually really good. So yeah, and I did this for 24 minutes and the top actually looks really nice and crispy and everything. So I'm just going to kind of, I don't even know how to bite this. It actually looks really good. I kind of just want to slice it like bread, but I could just eat it like so, or you could eat it probably with your hands. But I actually kind of want to try the top specifically to see if it still has like that crust that I was talking about earlier for like muffins. And yeah, okay, so I took off the kind of top and the inside is definitely still that nice cornbread that I always know. So even though the outside looks pretty crispy and dark, the inside is still, it looks very nice, warm, fluffy, and just like not overdone at all. So let's just take a little. Oh yeah, okay. Definitely, for some reason, for like this honey cornbread, I feel like a majority of the honey for some reason ends up being on the top, which is a good thing because it gives more of like a nice kind of sweet crisp to the top part, which tastes really good. So this actually tastes like obviously really good just as cornbread, but I think the presentation also brings out the best of it because they look amazing as like little loaves or little bars. Alright y'all, that is it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed me making these kind of cornbread bars. Obviously, I've had a cornbread before, but the presentation itself definitely kicked in and definitely made it shine this time. So it was a really good experience. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you, that Wilson Company, for that pan. Obviously, it was actually really good. Just found it at Michael's and was like, okay, this is different. So yeah, it actually turned out really good, and this is my first time using it too. So that was also a good bonus. Thank you guys so much for watching again. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I will see you next week.